The first lesson we are going to see is Introduction to Banking. Under the lesson Introduction to Banking, what are the topics we are going to see and what are the topics we are going to understand? First, what is banking? You should know what is banking. Then number 2, banker-customer relationship. Number 3, basic principles of banking. Number 4, banking structure in India. These are the 4 topics and 4 things which we are going to learn in this first lesson. Now let us go to the first concept. What is banking? Banking is not a new profession. It is very old. It is from Roman emperors, Indian emperors, so many thousands of years we have had bankers. In Rome, bankers used to sit in a bench and they used to exchange money. The word, surprisingly, the word banking comes from banku, which is, I'll write it down, which is the equivalent of a bench in Italy, in their language. They used to sit on a bench and exchange notes or exchange currencies, and that is how the word banker came into picture. And when these people are not able to repay the loans they had taken, they used to break the bench. That is why we got the word bankrupt. Bankrupt is nothing but breaking the benches. That is the origin of the word bankrupt. Now coming to India, Chanakya himself talks about hundis, which is equivalent to the modern bills of exchange. And our Manu, who gave the basic laws of our country, he is having one entire chapter on deposits and advances, and he is also talking about controlling interest rates in those days. So banking is nothing new to our country or the world, and we are with bankers for several centuries. The concept of banking has evolved over a period of time. So what is a banker? What is banking? This question, people will go on giving various definitions, explanations and all. I would like to simply present a picture to you. If you remember the picture, then you know what is banking. Now look at this slide which I have put up before you. A banker is nothing but a bridge between depositors and borrowers. In any economy, there are 2 types of people. One, they save money. For example, we are having lot of individuals whom we called as household. These people save money for the tomorrow. A father saves money for his daughter's wedding or education. A mother saves money for her son's education. A person saves money for buying a car. So there are people who save money. On the other hand, there are investors who want to invest the money and start new businesses. We now today talk about so many startups coming up. All these startups need investments. So there are 2 categories of people in any economy. One is the savers, who are the depositors, and the other is the spenders or borrowers, who are the investors. Now, bank acts as a bridge between. Simply remember a bridge, and that is a bank. A banker acts as a bridge between depositor or saver and spender or borrower. Now, okay sir, you may ask me, savers are there, borrowers are there, they can directly lend. Why do you need an intermediary called a bank in between the saver and the borrower? What is the necessity? There is no need at all. They can directly send. This is actually called in banking terminology as a disintermediation. Why not they directly lend? Yes, it is possible, but there are so many obstacles. Let us try to understand why a banker is needed to bridge between, to act as a bridge between the savers and the borrowers. First problem is the amount. I am a housewife. I want to save. I am saving 1 lakh. Now, if I want to find a borrower for 1 lakh, I may find a borrower, but the borrower does not need 1 lakh. He wants 1 crore. So he is not able to borrow from me. So till I get another borrower who wants the exact amount of 1 lakh, I cannot lend him. So first is mismatch of amount. Second is mismatch of maturity. A mother is saving for her daughter's wedding. The wedding may happen today, tomorrow, or 1 year. So maximum amount of time I can give is up to 1 year. But there is a borrower who wants to start a startup, but he needs this money. Money may be tallying. I have 10 lakhs. He also needs 10 lakhs. But I have 10 lakhs only for 1 year. But that guy who wants to borrow, he wants it for 5 years. Therefore, maturity mismatch is there. I cannot lend it to that fellow directly because after 1 year he cannot repay me back. Then mismatch of interest. I want 15% interest, whereas an investor can afford to pay only 10% interest. Therefore, I cannot lend it to him. All these mismatches have to be bridged. What a banker actually does is, he pools the saver's money, A, B, C, D, E, F, from any number of, N number of persons he takes the money, he pools it, from out of the pool he gives, he lends to X, Y, Z, various persons. These borrowers have varying requirements, and these requirements are met or bridged by the bank in the process of pooling. Thus, a banker is able to provide safety. Another big problem. Now, there is a housewife who has saved 10 lakhs. She wants to give it to a startup. Suppose the startup fails. What happens to the 10 lakhs money? And what happens to the daughter's wedding? Who is guaranteeing the safety? Therefore, the saver's first priority is safety. Then second priority is liquidity. Suppose when the marriage is going to happen, nobody knows. It may be tomorrow. Whenever there is a good groom, they will get her daughter married. So it may be today, tomorrow, 1 month after, 2 months after, 1 year after. So she may need the money any time. But suppose she is going to give the money to a startup. The startup will not be able to pay her after 10 days. Suppose she gives money, 10 lakhs to a startup, and after 10 days the marriage of her daughter is fixed. The startup will not be able to refund the money. Therefore, a bank provides safety, two important benchmarks it provides. One is safety, second is liquidity to the depositors. Then as far as the borrowers are concerned, it provides adequate loan. I need 1 crore. There is no meaning in giving me 10 lakhs. I need 1 crore means I should be given adequate money is given by the bank, and then at an affordable interest rate. Again, the borrower can prepay. It also provides the prepayment facility to the bank. Therefore, bank as an intermediary provides all these facilities to both savers and borrowers by pooling the resources. The magic is done by the bank by simply pooling all the resources and then lending it to various people and trying to match the requirements of both savers as well as borrowers. Thus, the bank is playing a very great role in the economy. But for the bank, what will happen? People will have to keep the money under their pillow. It will not be put to any effective use. The economy will not grow. Investment will not happen. Employment will not arise. If all this has to happen, the money has to come out from the pillows and from the small coffers which people maintain. From that, it should come to the bank, where the bank will pool all the resources and will lend it to the investors who will invest, start industries, give employment, economy will grow. Thus, a banker is doing a yeoman help for the economy, but for which the economy would have come to a standstill. Now, with this, we will go to the actual definition of a banker in the next slide. So far, what we have understood is that a banker acts as a bridge between the pool of depositors and a pool of borrowers, and the magic he is able to do it by pooling the resources of all the resources of the depositors, and provides liquidity and safety to the depositors, and he provides adequacy of loan as well as affordable interest rate to the borrowers.